Jimmy the Weasel, Las Vegas PD.
Shit, you don't have nothing on me.
Hey, Jimmy, I'm just trying to do my job tonight. My name's Alexander Hakamoto. Friends call me Hawk.
Fuck you. You're not my friend.
They call me something else.
Yep. Get ready for this one. There's a good chance I'm going to start sweating throughout this review. It is so hot here right now, it sucks. I really hate shooting videos in the summer when it gets this hot. It's terrible. This movie is Hawkeye from 1988. It was requested on the Facebook page by Evan, I think, and he requested this way back in April, so as you all know, it takes me forever to do anything. Who's surprised? Now, this is a buddy cop movie, which actually has some similarities to Samurai Cop, which came out in 1990, so not long after this. And I'll mention some of those similarities throughout the review. With this movie, you can just skip going down the bad movie checklist and just hit select all, because it's all here. And I couldn't really find a picture of the poster for this movie, except for this, which is just a photograph of the front cover of the rented VHS, and I can tell it was probably rented because of the squeeze and shake case. I just feel bad for whoever rented this in the first place. The movie starts with a drug deal and a scene that was obviously written by someone who's never witnessed a drug deal. This is just the painfully typical cinematic version of a drug deal. You can pretty much go through the checklist. It takes place in a dark alley, late at night, briefcases, and of course the classic line, "You got the stuff?" And another line which I'm sure every drug dealer says before every transaction.
All right, let's do the deal.
So Corey Hart and his gang betray the bad actor.
What the f is this?
There's some words exchanged here. It's just too bad we can't really hear them because the audio recording is so bad. And that's something you're just gonna have to get used to while watching this movie. It goes on throughout the whole film, but it doesn't really matter anyways because we all know what's gonna happen here. These two people are wondering where Hawkeye is, so the woman goes to call him, and I find it amazing that in 7 seconds she manages to go to the phone, dial the number, and find out that Hawkeye is out in a temple in the desert taking a black belt test. Now, if you thought the guy in the first scene was bad at delivering lines, well, buckle up.
41 years old and I'm testing for this black belt. I must be crazy.
You're not as crazy as me.
No, listen here. I've been in the military for 18 years. Trained in Korea and Japan. Real killer stuff. Now I come back and test for this belt. Las Vegas Grand Temple. These guys are animals.
Wow, that was so convincing. I almost forgot I was watching a movie. Now on to the next scene. Gee, I wonder if these people are planning on robbing the bank. So during the bank robbery, one of the tellers hits the silent alarm, and just listen to the intensity here. I mean, you can just feel the suspense cranking up.
All units, we have a 211 in progress at Las Vegas City Bank at 4th and Las Vegas Boulevard. Please respond.
So Hawkeye wants to get his black belt because his trainer at the YMCA told him to get it. I'm serious, I'm not making that up. That's the line in the movie. So after they casually kill a hostage with the shotgun, Hawkeye and the other cops just start unloading their weapons on the gang. You know, seems safe, especially with all the hostages there. So after that bloodbath, Hawkeye has to show some young kids what it's like to be a cop.
Hey, have you ever killed someone?
Yeah, once. Some kid that talked too much. He put his face in my face all the time. You know what I did? I took my gun out and I put it right in his head. And I blew a hole in the back of his head. And then I hit him in the groin so hard that his eyes turned blue. Then I punched him in the stomach so hard, he tried to vomit. But he swallowed his own vomit because I held his neck so hard, I put fingerprints in his cheeks.
Now you're gonna start seeing some similarities to Samurai Cop. Like here, where this woman just comes on to him randomly at a completely inappropriate time.
Is that a real gun?
Yeah, it's a real gun.
Can I touch it? It's so big.
No, you can't touch it.
Also, his superiors make a reference to something that never happened.
You call punching out a bank teller talking their language?
Seriously, no one punches out a bank teller during the robbery. I went back through the movie and watched it. Didn't happen. You'll also notice this. That's right. He has a partner.
That's right. Meet your new partner.
Partner?
That's right, partner.
Partner.
Partner?
Partner. And as well, I mean, isn't it obvious? Both have a mustache. The only difference is that Hawkeye and Charles don't get along like Samurai Cop and Frank do.
You know something, Hawk? You just piss me off, all right? Look, you don't know me and I'm not your friend, so I don't appreciate your little jokes. Stay off my back, stay out my way, and stay out my face. That's it.
Let me give you some advice.
Yeah, what the hell you want to do?
Also, I couldn't help but notice that he sounds a lot like Eddie Murphy in this movie.
My name is Charles Wilson, and I'm here to tell you what it's like to do my job. So think of me like officer friendly. I'm officer friendly, and I'm very glad all you are like police cadets and you all want to be cops. That's great.
So they're investigating the murder of Sammy, the guy at the beginning, who was just terrible at dealing drugs. And apparently Hawkeye knew him and is just really broken up by the news, as you can see. Now they go talk to Sharon, who is Sammy's wife, and I just wanted to point out that when you're recording audio and you can hear a plane overhead, it's best to wait until the plane passes by, or else you'll end up with audio that sounds like this.
I've been doing all right. How about yourself? You've gone through hell.
I'm hanging in, you know.
This is my partner, Charles Wilson. He's assigned to Sammy's case. It's cool. Charlie's gonna do everything he can to help us. Don't worry.
So, exactly where are you from, Sharon?
It's another good idea to get room tone as well. It really helps with editing. So really, all that is, really quickly, is just when you're shooting a scene, you know, before or after you shoot the scene, get everybody on the set to just be silent, and then just record, you know, 20 seconds of just the tone of the room itself. I know that sounds weird, but trust me, if you do it, it will help you a lot in editing. So they talk to this drug dealer in what apparently is supposed to be an interrogation. It's kind of a weird interrogation. I mean, I'm not a cop, but I do watch the first 48, and I've never seen anything like this. And for some reason, Charles says it's time to exercise, so it just cuts to them jogging down the street. Now, while they're exercising instead of working on the murder case, they realize they're being followed, which is some really fine police work. I mean, I would have never known this guy was following me. Just look at how discreet he is, running right across the middle of the road. So of course they do the logical thing, which is just to beat him up. This random person who really hasn't done anything illegal so far, except maybe jaywalking. Then they find out he's a reporter working on a story about police officers. So to make things better, Hawkeye lets him wear his hat for some reason, and they start taking pictures with him because, yeah, that'll rectify the assault. And this is one of many scenes that really comes up out of nowhere and has really no point. There's no point to this scene. It leads to nothing. It doesn't propel the story at all. There's no callback to it later in the movie. I really don't know why it's here. So I just don't see why you'd have to sneak around to get the story. What are the police officers doing now? Oh, looks like they're jogging. Hopefully they don't see me, they might stop jogging. The next scene just has a bunch of guys in a room talking with a shirtless man pacing around because, you know, that's not weird at all. The only problem is that I have no idea what's going on because there's no subtitles. He tells the shirtless guy to go do something and he agrees, but you don't know what he's going to do. He doesn't go and do anything. And then to make it worse, you never find out because they never show us. It never happens. So they go visit this karate school where this guy kicks them out, probably because he's still mad about his haircut.
These Sensei Sakuras, best black belt students, toughest in all Las Vegas.
Yeah, they're all right. I don't see any brothers in you, though.
Yeah, but I see a boom mic. I mean, seriously, how did they miss that? It's not like it's not noticeable, unless your camera op is asleep, which honestly wouldn't surprise me. Now, all of this leads up to exactly where you think it's going. A fight scene. And I'm serious, this fight scene is hilarious. It's probably one of the best parts of the movie for sure. My only complaint is that I wish it was longer. Now the whole point of that scene was because they're looking for this guy, Mr. Sakura, and they find out he's going to a restaurant, so they show up at the restaurant, and oh wait, hang on a sec. Okay, there we go. Now, as they're leaving, these two guys come in and try to rob the place, and, I mean, come on. Was there a wardrobe department for this movie? Does this guy look dressed for the part to you? He looks like he just came in from a dinner cruise. It's just too bad they picked the wrong guys to mess with, because apparently guns and knives are no match for a bottle of Windex. Now, Hawkeye goes over to his girlfriend's house, who is totally pissed because she hasn't seen him for so long.
I hate this. I can't keep going on like this with you.
What do you mean like this with me?
The movies are great. The dinners are great. The sex is great.
Well, that's good, because movies play a key role in building a relationship with somebody. I mean, you pick bad movies, man. For some girls, that's a deal breaker right there. Why do you think I've been single for so long? There's a good chance I will die alone because of this show.
I can call you and leave messages that you don't return. You know, sometimes you're a real ass, Hawkeye. Do you know that?
Now, that awkward pause happens because she's waiting for him to give a response, but he doesn't. But instead of having this long, awkward pause by holding on the shot, a good idea would have been to cut to him not responding or just giving a silent reaction, really anything, it doesn't matter, and then cut back to her, because otherwise this just looks like a mistake. So she kicks him out and he decides to get a drink at a bar called Cocktails, which is obviously a gay bar, but he's too dim-witted to even notice. I thought this guy was supposed to be a detective. Now this is another scene that really has no point at all. It doesn't add to the plot or the characters. Really, it's just here to add on to the runtime of the movie. In fact, the next few minutes of the movie is like this. Stuff that is really just wasting time. Like the shot of Charles coming home, walking into his house, seeing his wife going upstairs. Oh, then Hawkeye coming back to his place, and then calling 3 different girls and leaving messages for each one. Now what's he doing? What is this? What is that? You leafing through a photo album? Oh, that's great. Yeah, this is really propelling the story here. You better slow down the pace a bit, guys. I'm having trouble keeping up. Finally, Hawkeye calls Charles on the phone like, hey, there's only 30 minutes left in this movie. Maybe we should get back to the plot. So Sakura has Sharon kidnapped and taken back to his hideout or office or something. The place from the beginning of the movie with the guy pacing around the room. And he's in this scene too. The only weird thing is that the second shot of him looks like it was shot at an entirely different location and probably on a different day, seeing that he's now wearing a different shirt. But at least he's wearing a shirt, so there's that. Now this is interesting. After they arrive at Sharon's to find out she's been kidnapped, Charles calls the captain on the phone, and while the captain is talking to him, you can hear Charles's voice, but not through the phone, on the same set as the captain.
And don't you know that he contributes over $100,000 a year to the mayor's campaign fund?
What about Cesario?
Cesario? He's doing the mayor's daughter, for Christ's sake. Wilson?
So they decide to have some coffee, which seems like the appropriate thing to do in this situation. And then they find a key which could open a locker.
Wait a minute, suppose it's not a locker key. And suppose it doesn't go to the train station lock. Suppose it's like the airport or the bus station. It could be anything.
Then we hit them all.
We hit them all. Maybe in Texas you can go to one place, but there's so many of these kind of places all around us, you know.
Okay, now I want to play back that last part for you guys again.
Maybe in Texas you can go to one place, but there's so many of these kind of places all around us, you know.
It's almost as if he screwed up the line or tried to improvise it, and the director just said, yeah, let's just go with it. Now, the shirtless dude from the beginning comes into the scene and takes his shirt off. Why? For what reason? Now, I'd love to be able to tell you what's going on in this scene, but I can't. I'm pretty sure nobody can. Someone gets hurt. That's pretty much all I can tell you. Who that person is or where this takes place is a complete mystery, though. And why is this guy yelling all of his lines?
What are you guys doing here, man? Off! She's at Sakura's place.
I mean, where did you find these people? Did you actually hold auditions, or did you just pick up random people from an alley somewhere? I actually hope this guy did do an audition, because if there's a video of that, that would be hilarious. Hi there. Hi, I'm Mike. I'm here to audition for the role of Random Thug number 9. Okay, so the line is, hey, what are you guys doing here? All right. Okay. Hey, what are you guys doing here, man? Now, they're going through a hallway and have to fight some more thugs, and again, like Samurai Cop, it's pretty obvious that they undercranked the camera to make it look like this is happening faster than it really is, which is actually okay because it just adds to the hilarity of it. Not to mention how easy it was for them to just walk into the room and get Sharon back. And now let's follow them on the big escape down the stairwell. The whole stairwell. Every floor. No matter how long it takes or actually begins to take away from any intensity the scene was supposed to have. Now this I don't understand. The bad guys pretty much have the drop on them. Tony even screams out, "Die!" But they don't shoot them, and then we just have this awkward standoff until the bad guys drop their guns. So they make it to the locker at the transit station with the bad guys in pursuit. Now, for obvious reasons, they seem to be moving as fast as they can because, well, they're being chased by people that want to kill them. Well, for some reason, that urgency just dissipates as soon as they hit the escalator, which gives the bad guys the opportunity to shoot Sharon. I mean, it doesn't matter that the escalator is moving. You can still move down it. If it was me, I'd be flying down that thing. And then for some reason, they just get away. Are the bad guys just unable to follow them anymore for some reason? Do they have a fear of escalators? Whoa, 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 whoa. That's an escalator, guys. If I don't time this right, that could just throw me off my balance completely. Okay. Well, you know what? Screw this. I'm taking the stairs. They take Sharon to the hospital where she dies, and I just love the acting here. Hawkeye just stands there completely still. But here comes another great line delivery.
I want your ass, Hawkamato. I want it all because you're through.
Sorry, Hawk.
Oh, you too, Wilson.
Me?
Yeah, you.
So now as they're standing in the parking lot thinking about how they lost their jobs, suddenly the bad guys show up and shoot it out with them. The ensuing chase and shootout is actually the most action-packed part of the movie. I mean, I don't know where the bazooka came from, but at this point, I really don't care. So they take the money from the locker, which was $600,000, and bet it on roulette, which they lose. So now they have no money and no jobs. But everything ends up okay because look, they turned around and stopped just long enough for us to get a freeze frame showing their back pockets. They still got some of the money. Not $600,000, probably a couple grand at most, but for some reason I guess that makes everything alright. Now, although Hawkeye has its funny moments, it's not a film I would classify as so bad it's good. Really, I found far too much of it just brutal to sit through. So with all that being said, I'm gonna give Hawkeye a 9 on the bad movie meter. It fails in too many ways to count. However, there are those funny moments which are pretty hilarious, which add to the entertainment just a bit. To be honest, I don't even know why I started using the meter. You're never gonna see like a 3 or a 4 on here. I've already started working on the next one. We'll see how it goes. What is it? I'm watching Theodore Rex right now with Whoopi Goldberg. I've already resorted to drinking while writing the review, so that's a good sign. Okay, can I try one more? Can I try this one? She's at Sakura's place? Okay, so I'm getting beaten up, and then she's at Sakura's place. Okay, alright. She's at Sakura's place! Wait, I'm sorry. I could do that better. I can do it better. One more. Okay. She's at Sakura's place!